7 desires. Psalm 37:4 says, "Delight in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart." Jesus, in today's gospel, provides the people's physical, material needs and desires. Of course, we do not live by bread alone, but we do not live without it either. So we don't believe that material needs and desires, those things very basic to human life, are irrelevant or trivial. They are important. So we must provide earthly bread and clothes and shelter for the least of our brothers and sisters. But then beside the physical material needs, we have even deeper psychological and spiritual needs and desires. In this book, 7 Desires, written by a Christian psychotherapist, the author teaches from their life experience and studied that there are 7 basic desires which are implanted in our heart by God, which means God is both the creator and the fulfillment of these basic 7 desires. If these basic desires are fulfilled, then we will enjoy a deeper and richer relationship with God and with others. When we understand our desires and realize that they are the same for everyone, we can live in deeper and more meaningful community living. So, giving and receiving these desires can help us to connect with each other in a more truly intimate ways. So the 7 desires are so deep in our souls, so much so that we don't always consciously understand that they are there. We feel them in our hearts. We long for them to be fulfilled. But we don't know the source of that ache, heartache, that longing. So instead of accepting the fact that we have hurts, we have pains, we have loneliness because our desires are unfulfilled, we live lives of quiet loneliness, frustrations, anger and bitterness. We hurt and we long for something more. And very often we don't even know what that something more is. And here, those professional psychologists or the spiritual writers, they name them. They name what exactly is that something more which we are missing. So according to this author, there are the 7 basic desires. So all of us have all of them. They are universal. The first desire, to be heard and understood. So I can just think back to the time when you felt someone was truly listening to you. Listening is an art. It's not easy, difficult. Today, the Synodal Church is also called to be a listening church. Listen to the voice of the Spirit. Everyone in the church has a voice. Listen to their voice. Listen. So all of us have so many things to say. We are born to communicate. And yet so often we feel that we are not being truly heard. Communication is art. It's an art. So today we always effective communication. To communicate effectively. And the other party also to listen. So we think, as a parishioner shared with me, we think that there are communication taking place, but in fact, there is no true effective communication. And this is happening right now in our daily lives. So for many of us, our assumptions about being heard and being ignored are rooted in childhood. So many children have adults in their lives who talk to them, give advice, admonish them, teach them, but they don't have adults that want to listen to their feelings, to their needs, struggles, or opinions. So in order for us to truly connect meaningfully, we must first be willing to listen. It's a great challenge for all of us to learn. So even today, our youth demand to be heard and understood. We have to listen to them. Second, desire to be affirmed. We all desire that someone approves of who we are and what we do. And we feel good when someone says to us, good work, well done, thank you. So just think back to the people in your life who have had the most positive influence. Were they the people who criticized and belittled you, or the people who affirmed and praised you? We long to have parents, friends, teachers, or priests, parish priests in our lives who also recognize what we do well. These are people who, when we are young, represent God's love to us. If they are not affirming, we do not feel confident in our talents and abilities. Tragically, many children not only lacked affirmation, but are also criticized and put down. So sisters and brothers, when we live without affirmation or with lots of criticism, we develop self-doubt, no confidence, and guilt. Self-doubt and guilt eventually lead to anxiety. We are anxious of what other people will think and say of me. So our need for affirmation is so great that sometimes we refuse trying new things because we are afraid that we will make mistakes, we will look foolish and be judged and criticized by others. But it is always encouraging when you take a risk to say something or do something, and despite the outcome, you are still accepted and affirmed for your effort. So sisters and brothers, what an experience it will be when we find in our own SFA a church fellowship habit number three, loving fellowship, where people seem friendly, inviting, welcoming, and accepting. This is basic. Third desire, to be blessed. Affirmations are about what we do. Blessings are about what we are. A blessing happens when someone lets you know that you are a very special person in their life. They love you, they are proud of you, they want to be with you. So when we get blessed, we believe that we are special in someone's eyes. When we are blessed, we don't have to do anything. We are loved for being just who we are. It is a great feeling. Parents should be the primary and first source of blessing. All of us desire to be blessed by both our mother and father. So this experience of being affirmed, of being blessed, we should have that during our childhood. Psychologist says the first 7 years are very important. We are formed around a few years. When we don't receive affirmation, we can feel guilty about the things we do. When we don't receive blessings, we can feel shameful about who we are. Guilt is the awareness that I make a mistake. Shame is the feeling that I am a mistake. So those of us who are not blessed as children often go through life silently, feeling angry and sad. So when we confuse the desire to be affirmed and the desire to be blessed, we will wind up thinking that the way to get blessed is to do things. When we feel this way, we feel that there is some way to earn the blessing. You want to earn the affirmation, that accomplishments, achievements, awards, acquisitions, all the accolades will bring the blessing. While we may get this affirmation for all these things, they don't bring you a sense of blessing like the true blessings of the 8 Beatitudes. Blessed are you, Jesus said. So sisters and brothers, remember, blessing is about who you are, not what you do. We want to know that we are valued for ourselves, not for what we do. And this desire to be blessed may be our deepest need, to know that if our accomplishment, if our fame, our honors, our possessions were all stripped away, that we will still be loved simply because we are. When we receive blessing from our parents or our significant people, our self-esteem will develop. We will feel good about who we are. We will feel loved. We will be less likely to be tossed about in life, what people think or say about us. So God blessed His Son Jesus. When Jesus was baptized, a voice from heaven said, "This is my Son whom I love. This is my beloved Son, with whom I am well pleased." It's interesting to note that God blessed Jesus before Jesus had actually done much. Before Jesus has achieved or accomplished anything yet, because He was only about to begin His public ministry. He has not performed any miracles or healings or preaching or teaching. Not yet. And yet God was already pleased with him. When God says that he is pleased with Jesus as his beloved son, it is not because of anything he has accomplished, that he has accomplished his mission. Mission accomplished, not yet. But because of who he is. It's the beloved son, that's all. So as children of God, we all long for these blessings of God. This is my son and my daughter with whom I am well pleased. This experience is wider for those who are newly baptized. When we are baptized. So all of us, we do both good and bad things. We are sinners. But God's love for us is never based on what we do. It is based on who we are, his beloved children. He made us and he is pleased with us. Ultimate joy and fulfillment in life is the result of having our basic desires met, as well as having the opportunity. Opportunity is always there to serve the desires of others. It revolves around our practice of habit 3 and 4. I will continue, but I will conclude with these 3 desires, another 4 more, which I will continue next week. Delight in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart.